Good morning, guys. Happy Sunday and welcome back to Bald Father Bets. So we'll give you guys a quick recap of College Football Saturday, and then we will get into our picks for today, where we pick every NFL game against the spread every week. So we will give the full slate of Sunday games. So quickly, recap of College Football Saturday, where we went 22-2, bringing us to 154, 91, and 4 against the spread picks this year in terms of our overall record in units. So started out the morning going 2-2, win on South Carolina plus the 22 against Alabama, and a loss on Washington plus the 3 against Iowa. Went into the afternoon where we had Texas minus the 14 for 3 units. That was a win. We also took Texas minus 7 at halftime for 2 units. That was a win. And then we also had USC plus the 5.5 against Penn State, and that was a win as well. That was for 3 units. Then we headed into the evening slate. We had LSU plus the 3.5 against Ole Miss for 3 units. That was also a win. And then we had in the big game Oregon plus the 4 for 5 units against Ohio State. That was a win. We then had Colorado in the late night game, plus the 4 against Kansas State, which was a win, and we took Colorado plus the 3.5 at halftime for another 2 units, and that was a win. So overall, 22-2 on College Football Saturday, very positive. A little bit of nuggets in terms of those games. In the morning slate, Washington, Iowa started out close, as Iowa games always start out close. They kind of play you in a phone booth, and then the Iowa turnover machine started, and once they get that rolling, Iowa is very difficult to beat, and they were able to beat Washington handily in that game. Final score didn't indicate any sort of a close game, even though it did start out close, but they dominated them on the scoreboard. South Carolina, Alabama. Alabama continues to be exactly what we think they are, which is a very good team, but not a great team. But in a season where there may not be any great teams, very good could be very much enough to win a national championship or make a deep playoff run, which I still think Alabama has the capability of doing. They're just not in that status tier of, I'd say, the top teams. In the afternoon, Texas able to get a dominating win against Oklahoma. Game was 3-0 OU at the end of the first quarter. You could really see OU's defense. I mean, they are an elite unit, but without any sort of wide receiver support, the offense was not able to get going. Felt bad for Hawkins Jr. in his first start, because there was really nothing that he could have done in that game when the wide receivers were completely blanketed. No one could get any separation, and a difficult spot for him to be in terms of his first start for Red River. And then we also had the USC-Penn State game. What a game that one was. USC jumped out on them early. You could see where the USC speed was a little bit for Penn State to deal with, but then once they got it settled in, they were able to hold USC to only 10 points after their initial 20 points. And then Penn State, the superior team, came out on top with the win, but we got that cover with USC. Into the night game, Ole Miss and LSU continue to give us bangers year after year. LSU getting the walk-off win in overtime. Nussmeier didn't play his best game, but when they needed it, he had some very good throws, especially on that 4th down, where they went for it on their own side of the field in order to get the touchdown that got them into overtime. But really great game between that. Neither team deserved to really lose that one. Game of the year candidate in Oregon, Ohio State. That game, again, went exactly as we thought it would. Ohio State the better team, Ohio State the better coaching staff, but Oregon at home able to eke out a win. And Dillon Gabriel's legs, like we said, that was the main difference. When Oregon was down by 6, they had a Dillon Gabriel scramble for a touchdown that put that at a 1-point game, and ultimately was the difference in giving Oregon the win. Oregon's a very good team. Still think Ohio State's better. Would love to see that one rematch in Indy, but gave us the win there. And then we went into the late night game. Again, kind of exactly what we thought. Shedeur Sanders and the Magic, even though he had all of his wide receivers out, still played a great game. The passing yards are there. The decision making is there. Colorado actually took the lead at one point before Avery Johnson and Kansas State was able to get a touchdown and take it back. Some questionable play call on the 4th down. Curious what I haven't seen the all 22 yet from the game, but on the last play where Colorado had a chance, They had a 4th and medium and took a deep shot down the field, which you could argue was pass interference. You could say it wasn't pass interference, but ultimately would have liked to have seen a higher percentage throw there to keep the drive alive and keep the game going, but gave us a win in that one as well. So again, 22-2 on the day for College Football Saturday, positive day, bringing us to 154 and 91-4 on the year. So now we go into NFL Sunday. So we already have the play-in that we made the community post on. We have the Jaguars plus the 3 for 3 units. That one is not looking good at 14-3 at halftime, and I believe the Jaguars turned the ball over right on their they got the ball to start the second half, and I think they turned it right over to the Bears. So good chance that the Bears take a even bigger lead in this one, and with the Bears defense playing as well as they are, it would be difficult to see Jacksonville able to come back up and make this catch that up and make this one competitive. So looks like we're going to start out with a loss on 3 units in that one. But we will move into the rest of our slate. Patriots and Texans, we already took the Patriots there, plus the 7 for 2 units. Hopefully Drake May can get a little magic in his first start and keep this one close. Texans a great team, haven't been playing, I think, up to their full potential, and Nico Collins is out, who has been a lot of their offense this year. However, they do get Joe Mixon back. We have the Commies and the Ravens. We have the Ravens minus the 6 for 10 units. Love this play. Obviously, if I'm putting 10 units on it, guys, we like this one a lot. Lamar Jackson against NFC. Look at who the Commanders have been playing in terms of who they've put up all their points against. I still think the Commanders are very good. I think the offense is good. I think Kingsbury's good. I think Daniels is good. I just think that this is kind of the first time that they're going to get a little bit gut check, and they're going to get checked a little bit in terms of how good they really are. Commanders are a good team, but it's not like drafting Daniels turned them into this powerhouse overnight, and the Ravens are a powerhouse. And at home, I think Baltimore will handle them in this game. So we have the Ravens minus 6 for 10 units. Browns and Eagles, we already took the Browns plus the 9.5 for 2 units. It's just too many points. My hope here is that they pull Deshaun Watson early, get Jameis in there, and we can get some good Jameis sound bites, because those are amazing. So hopefully Deshaun Watson comes out. I mean, he arguably has been the worst quarterback in the NFL this year. I understand why you could argue other people, but there's a lot of stats that would tell you that Deshaun has truly been the worst quarterback in the NFL. So hopefully they pull him, and we have Jameis in there, and then we have the Browns plus the 9.5 for 2 units. Cardinals and Packers, we are taking the Packers minus the 5 for 2 units against the Cardinals. This game being in Green Bay, being outdoors, LaFleur, the Packers need a win here. They're 3-2, but the Vikings and the Lions in that division, 2 of the best teams in the NFL. So Packers really need a win here in order to continue to stay competitive for a chance to win the division. Bucks and Saints, we are taking the Saints plus the 3.5. I don't really have a reason here other than this line should be a lot more than 3.5, given that Spencer Rattler is the starter. And I think Spencer Rattler will have a short leash, given in terms of what we saw when Jake Haener, I think that's his name, came in relief of Derek Carr on Monday Night Football, and actually had a pretty impressive drive down the field. So either way, I think the Saints could get some competent quarterback play here. And I'm just surprised the line isn't more. I know it's a division matchup, but Rattler was not all that impressive in his last year in college. Buccaneers have been really good. So again, a line that indicates that, hey, someone knows something here, and there's some pretty sharp buyback anytime that the Saints line would go up to 4 or 4.5. So that's why we're taking the Saints plus the 3.5 here for 2 units. We have the Titans minus 2.5 against the Colts for 2 units. Do not like that Flacco is playing, as Flacco is a lot better than Anthony Richardson, but we'll see what happens. Maybe Anthony Richardson gets the start. He is active, but some early indications are that Flacco is going to continue to play. Don't like that at all, but if Richardson plays, then I really love the Titans minus the 2.5 here. Would love to see Mason Rudolph and not Will Levis for the Titans, but we'll see what happens. Then we go into the afternoon slate. We are taking the Chargers minus the 3 against the Broncos. That's again for 2 units as well. This is again a gut feel one. Broncos have been very impressive. Broncos have the best defense in the NFL so far. Think that coming off of a bye week, I like Harbaugh. I like that Herbert will be getting healthier with that ankle, so he has a little bit more mobility. Would like to see the Chargers run the ball here a lot, slow this game down, keep this one into a phone booth, and then get a score late to kind of give us that cover and that win. Think that Bo Nix has been playing great. Think that the offensive game plans from Sean Payton have been fantastic for having a rookie Bo Nix as your quarterback. They've been asking him to do everything that he does well, and they haven't asked him to do anything that he doesn't do well. So just masterclass of coaching by Sean Payton so far this year. I mean, he's one of the best. Not surprised by that at all, but think that, that sometimes I look at games and I ask myself, I look at the record of the two teams, and then I ask myself, what's more likely at the end of this? So right now the Broncos are 3-2 and the Chargers are 2-2. So is it more likely at the end of this that the Broncos are 3-3 and Chargers are 3-2, or is it more likely that the Broncos are 4-2 and the Chargers are 2-3? And that's sometimes how I look at games that are very even like this in terms of which way I'm leaning. So Chargers minus the 3 for 2 units. Then we go into the Steelers and the Raiders. Taking the Raiders here plus the 3.5. And you can get 3.5. You just need to shop this one around. A lot of places are at 3, but there are a few books at 3.5. So Raiders plus the 3.5 against the Steelers. Taking that one for 2 units. Steelers started out 3-0. Kind of always thought the Steelers were a 500 team, just like they are every single year, and this puts the Steelers right back at 3-3 if the Raiders are able to get an outright win here. But even if they're not, like the 3 plus that hook is a big deal here in this one. So Raiders plus the 3.5 for 2 units. Already took the Lions minus the 3 against the Cowboys for 3 units. Like the motivation factor here for the Lions, given the way that the Dan Skipper reporting incident ended the game against the Cowboys last year, towards right before New Year's, December 30th, Saturday Night Football. The Lions want this one. I think they'll get it. So Lions minus the 3 against the Cowboys for 3 units. Falcons, Panthers we already took the Panthers here plus the 7. That's for 2 units. Just think it's too many points for Andy Dalton and the Panthers being at home. And then we go into Sunday Night Football, where we are taking the Giants plus the 3.5 against the Bengals for 2 units. Giants at home, Sunday Night Football, getting 3.5 points. Bengals need this one. If they lose this one, they go to 1-5, and they are truly out of the playoff picture, barring a miracle. But the Giants have been playing good, and the Giants need this one too at 2-3. That whole, well, this team needs to win, so they're going to win. It's a dangerous path to go down when making plays against the spread in the NFL. So, like the Giants here, like them plus the 3.5 for 2 units, and that's all our plays on NFL Sunday Football. So. We'll get at you again tomorrow for Monday Night Football. I think we already put that play in Community Post, but obviously we'll make a video for you guys. If you're betting with us, if you're winning with us, only thing we ask, subscribe, comment, like, share. Just want to grow the channel. We'll always keep the picks free, but having a really good year so far. Really enjoyed the back and forth with you guys. So 154, 91-4 on the year. Getting close to that 63% mark, winning percentage. So truly a remarkable year so far. So hopefully you guys have been following along. Hopefully you guys have been playing along. If you have been fading, then hopefully you've realized, probably shouldn't fade the Bald Father. We're pretty good around here at picking against the spread. And let's have a really good day Sunday. Continue that momentum and have another positive week. But thank you guys very much. Appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. And please subscribe, notifications on, comment, like, share. It's the only thing that we ask. But have a great Sunday. Enjoy all the games.